and welcome to another edition of Fresh Fridays. I'm your host, Rick Mathis. And we got a real special guest in the building today. Dr. Danaka Wardrick is in the building, and we about to have this AI talk, man. We vibing to this Billion song. What you think about it, bro?
Hey, man, when I found out that this was an AI artist, you know, I was kind of blown away, because this is about to be like the theme song for the morning in my household. That's where we going with that one.
Man, I know you actually, you know, a tech guy. So when we surprise you with something that's new in tech, man, you know, that's really impressive here, man. So
appreciate it. Glad to be here. I feel centered.
Definitely, man. So want to welcome you all to another edition of Fresh Fridays, where we talk and we bring the freshest voices in music, health, film, tech, business, entrepreneurship. It's all things fresh here, man, on Fresh Friday. So introduce yourself, man. Tell the people who you are and what we have going on here today.
All right, Dr. Danaka Wardrick, NFC scientist, engineer, developer, and I bring out some gadgets for y'all to check out today. And yeah, that's what I do. I build technology. I develop new inventions, new products, utilizing near-field communication and radio frequency identification.
No doubt, man. So take us back to the first moment where you had an epiphany and you was like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be doing this in tech.
Oh, man. So when I first wrote the algorithm, I wasn't, what you see here today and the things that I have built wasn't the first attempt. It wasn't what I was aiming to do. The first process literally came about, I was working with a magazine and I wanted to try to get rid of some overhead. The overhead was killing me. And I wanted to make a way to where as though I could access everything that the consumer who was buying the magazine needed and do it in a way that it will save me some money. It was really solving my own problem. But then I noticed that it could be different forms of applications, and I started working on one after the other. The first part of it, I'll tell you a neat little story. I was working with a magazine company, and I developed the world's first magazine download card, right? Mm-hmm. It was basically, you could download a magazine to your phone, read it, get other files, all kinds of crazy stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And during this time, the laboratory space I had, I was running, you know, the magazine and the laboratory at the same time. But the laboratory side, based off of development, kind of overtook it like vegetation on a building that's been sitting. It overtook it, and, you know, these different ways of thinking and creation started to come about. It didn't all happen at one time. So the first thing we did actually was make a woman's nail interactive, like allowing her to start her car by just touching the engine and things of that nature. It didn't get into this other stuff until much later. Like this other stuff came about years later.
Wow. So tell us about this other stuff. Like, what problem is it solving? What is it? I know it's you have technology that can go in a bracelet, on a poster board, like we have a poster board here. Like, tell us, you know,
I'll break it down for you. On this side here, you see the Techlet. The Techlet is basically your digital concierge right at your wrist. It's not technically a bracelet, and it's a wearable piece of technology. So the terminology Techlet, that's where it comes from. What it allows you to do is a few different things. It allows you to be fully autonomous. It allows you to transact, engage, and also promote whatever it is that you're doing. So you could use it for business to business transaction. You could use it for social interaction and connecting. it does phenomenal in networking space, and it's like one of our most popular products and devices that we released just now.
Yeah, because that is dope, man. So basically what you're doing is taking your phone, tapping the bracelet.
I'll show you.
Quick demonstration.
Yeah, quick demonstration. So, and I have to be careful with doing it on mine because I don't, you know what? I'll use this one. Because mine have my information. I don't want to blast that out to the world.
Got it.
So this is the Techlit. This is what everybody is like falling in love with. When we first developed this, it didn't always look like this. It used to be big, clunky, real on the spectrum looking.
It was like a bracelet, but it was
but it was a clunky bracelet.
Okay.
The first one was made out of alligator skin. All of them now are made out of genuine leather, pure leather, and with the RFID antennas and near field communication antennas on the inside. So how it works is like this. If you wanted to transact information, like only thing they're doing is just communicating with the side, and it'll bring up, you know, not just your website, but whatever functionality that your own mind could create with. So on one side, it would allow you to do that. But if you're like looking at improving your following or your subscription base, the other side, very simply, taps and it takes them directly to your IG, your Discord, whatever the case may be, your YouTube, allowing you to get more organic following and traction than utilizing bots. So with our own, we use it not just like as a selling product, but it also goes in the form of we use it ourselves in and out of the office. So that's how we built the following and things of that nature from it.
Got it. Do me a favor and tuck that cable right down your leg. And that wire.
Okay, my bad.
Tuck it under the shirt.
All right, they got me moving cables and stuff. Okay.
You're doing grip now, man. So you won a competition that was presented by Rolling Out. You know, Rolling Out had a tech competition. What was it, about a couple years ago?
No, actually it was about like a year and some change ago.
Yeah.
It was Rolling Out partnered with Streets 945 and Magic and Morehouse. And it was the Peace and Purpose Conference Summit. And it was an amazing pitch competition. Shout out to everybody who had won. It was 3 winners over 3 days, but you had to come with it. And yes, we were the recipients on the last day, which was, I believe, that Sunday, was it? It was a Sunday?
Or Saturday.
Yeah, it was a Saturday. That Saturday was the last pitch day. Now on Friday, this is the weird thing. Am I allowed to tell this story?
Of course.
All right, cool. So this is the weird part. So you have this lineup, and the lineup is really of some of the best developers that's like in the South, not just Atlanta, like from all around. And you see these different concepts and these different developments and these different inventions. Now, here's where it gets a little funny. When we got there, we sold a lot of tech from the moment we got out the car. From like the car to the door. It was weird. In the green room, hey, did y'all bring any Techlits with you guys? Literally, this is literally what happens. And that day we lost. We didn't win that on that Friday. We still had the battle again. So the winner of that Friday, I forget actually who it was, but shout out to you, cool project. That next Saturday, we had a choice either to bring in the same concept or to bring in our passion concept. And our passion concept is ironically, we don't have it with us here today, but you'll see it all over states coming pretty soon. It's the DigiSpikes and plant pots, and it's an application based on helping farmers and urban farmers yield better crops and yield more crops for their vegetations, doing it the right organic way. And I know that sounds like kind of weird. What do you mean? It's technology, so how is it doing it the organic way? Because the technology has nothing to do with what you're growing, but everything to do with the process and the information that you're communicating with other growers on how to grow with, but you're doing it instantaneously. So the farm connects itself to other farms and other farms, almost like how beehives communicate. So that project is what we won with on that Saturday, and it was still amazing because it was out of like I think 30 some odd other developers and inventors that was there.
Yeah, that's dope, man. And I'm from the South, so I'm a Southern country boy from South Georgia, Valdosta to be exact. I was born there.
Okay, Valdosta.
Mom moved me to Atlanta at age 14 and changed my life. But how do you see technology reshaping Black culture?
There's two ways that I see it, but it's based off of early understanding that the information that we learn and we practice, like, so you know how you ever heard the terminology knowledge is power? They only telling you half the story. The other 50% of that is applied knowledge is actually power. So you could actually know something, but if you don't apply it, it's not really going to help. For us, to get back to your question, for us, where it's going to come down to is how much information we're willing to learn about the new technologies that are being presented and coming out. So if you take, for example, when the musket was invented, so we're going back over 1,000 years.
What is the musket?
A musket is the gun.
Okay.
The first gun was called the musket.
Okay.
When that technology was invented, it was monumental. It allowed hunters to get bigger animals and things like that. However, when the natives of America came across it, it wasn't on a friendly spectrum because they wasn't aware of it. You get what I'm saying? So you want to be aware of all the technologies that are out there and the ones that are becoming available for commercial usage. You know what I mean? So it's, in a sense, I think we have an opportunity to expound upon it and be some leaders in these new fields that are approaching, if we take the right approach to it. You follow what I'm saying?
I do. Because a lot of people are afraid of AI. A lot of people are saying that AI is going to take our jobs, And mind you, there is a shift. It will delete 85 million jobs, but it's going to create 97 million jobs as well.
It's going to create more jobs than that. What people need to understand is innovation is what guides industrial workforce. So when the automobile was invented, prior to that, there was no auto mechanics. There was no gas stations. None of these things didn't exist until the automobile came into existence. So it's going to create new industries and new formulas of ways of things being done. Like I was telling you earlier, it's going to come down to when you say, all right, well, AI is going to take certain jobs. It's supposed to. It's innovation. Like there's not really that many paper mills still running around out here. You know what I mean? There's no more people standing on the corner yelling out, "Get your newspaper right here!" Not
and
when
printing press and all of that.
Exactly. So it's innovation is supposed to happen. So with AI, you're going to have different classifications of employment. So you're going to have people that actually deal with hardware and software. You know, like we were saying earlier, it's like they say it's going to eliminate a lot of the white collar jobs. Actually, it's creating gray collar. The gray collar is where innovation not only meets creativity but possibility at the same time. So if you're going to have RFID engineers, NFC engineers, you're going to have places where certain technologies you could take and get cared for, like no difference than like for people that have like the iPhones, you know, you get eye care that goes along with it. But prior to that, when it was just regular flip phones, there was no phone care for nothing. You couldn't take your phone to get repaired for nothing. You had to buy a new one. That's literally what happened. So with AI, you're going to have people that need the right code, and you're going to have people who are going to study the English language like it's something you have never seen before. Because as we were saying earlier, it's going to a lot of it is going to be based off of how prompts are created. Is going to be based off of the dialect. And when you look at it, don't think of just the English language. You got to think of it as all languages. But who's ever leading in the industry is going to be that language that writes most of it. So those new processes, and it's going to be some work plants and things like that exist. So the days of cubicle jobs may no longer exist, but the days of people that, you know, input different motherboards or motherboard switch out or burns out that has to be replaced in these different companies, that is going to be a new existence. Now, is it saying that it's something that's off with it? No. What it basically proves is that there's something else that follows. So just because one classification gets eliminated, like for example, nobody has to work at a Blockbuster anymore. You know, no one has to be the person that rewinds the VHS tapes anymore. You
Exactly.
know, even with streaming, it has got rid of the well-beloved person in the hood, the DVD man.
The bootleg.
Yeah. So you don't get industries change. It doesn't mean that they went anywhere. It just changed into something else. Now, to be able to have the fortitude to see that's another thing that probably they need to address later.
So, what would you suggest that people do to prepare and ready themselves for this? How do people in our community position themselves to win, you know, now that this new AI tech wave is here? The genie is out of the bottle, and it's not going back in.
It's definitely not.
Yeah. So how do, you know, we position ourselves to win?
Well, the same way you would if you were playing an interesting game of chess. Strategy. You have to know that a lot of the times when y'all getting these new, when you see new industries being developed within tech, you know, you want to not just take a look at it, but you want to see where the investing probabilities are, because that's literally what's going to happen. You know, you're going to see a lot of different companies. It's going to look like they popped up overnight, but they actually been around for a long time. They just starting to actually get their funding in the door. And the way we best prepare ourselves with it is you have a few different, I say about top 5 for size of it. Really understand what's going on in your tech hubs in your community. These places are right up under your noses. Like you got, you know, Hypopotamus, Atlanta Tech Square, Tech Village. Like, don't just go to the bar lounge. Go and see what's going on over there. You know what I mean? These new laboratories and stuff that pop up, you know, see if they got days where you could visit, and just get a walkthrough of a brush of what's going on. And that's one part. Don't be afraid to ask the interesting questions. Hey, how do I invest in this? Hey, how do I become an early adopter? So an early adopter are like when you first saw someone with something. You know what I mean? Like the first person to have the touchscreen phone, you know, the first person to have the new Jordans, the first person that, like, early adopters.
First person that had the beeper.
Exactly. But these early adopters is what they get. They're the ones that make money first, because they know about the stock first. You know what I mean? Find out if it's being publicly traded or privately traded. Or what we would say, bridge investments. See if this tech company or this app company, see what they're doing and say, well, look, if I gave you this, how much of a return can I get in on your profits with? Because they need diverse ways of raising capital as well. Number 3, no difference than the way an athlete would prepare for a game. You train yourself. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid to say that you don't know, but then don't be afraid to go and try to find out neither. You know what I mean? Like, there's not one brand of bread inside of the grocery store. You see a whole bunch of different types. Now, all of them ain't good for you, but the way we know about it is because we went and we tried a couple of different slices of loaves. That's how that actually works. Number 5, and this is, did I say number 4? Was that, all right, number 5. And this one, like, I hold dear to my heart. Don't be afraid to meet someone who might be a little bit more intelligent than yourself. Try to get in rooms where you're not the smartest person. Like, for me, I love the rooms where I know I'm not the smartest person. Like, if I fall between that 5% of 95% of everyone else is way more intelligent, I know I'm in the right room, because I could go in any corner and not just, you know, get information, but get advice from people that, you know, some people never come across in their lifetime.
Dope. So you mentioned some of the spots here in Atlanta that you can visit. What about digital platforms? What digital platforms would you recommend people visit, and what apps and tools or AI tools would you recommend that people use?
Oh man, one of the best AI tools that I synced out right now is Gemini, because Gemini kind of like learns you and gives you a chance to learn it. Gemini is not one of these apps for building a flyer or something whimsical like that. It's more for the thinker who's actually trying to develop infrastructure, you know, business, these other kind of platforms that are starting to exist on Ethereum networks. Don't be afraid to visit the Ethereum network. Everybody, they trade the coin, but they never actually went and seen what it is. They could tell you what the cryptocurrency Ethereum is, but visit the Ethereum platform. That's one of the places where I like to see people who I would consider not my competitors, but my collaborators. And they love to collaborate on Ethereum. Some of the other places, you said digital? And what apps?
Apps, tools.
Apps and tools, okay.
Platforms.
Yeah, so Gemini is very dope. Wire. Wire.com. Always go to Wire, because Wire tell you the stocks that are about to drop for these new tech companies, but a lot of times they be on like the sites Edgar.com. So those are the ones that are privately traded. Like, if I'll give you an example, the company Nightscope. So you'll see, and basically what they're building is RoboCop in a nutshell. If you look at like their applications that they put in other cities already, like Las Vegas, it's the digital robots, the police robots that's running around. However, they were released on Edgar privately in 2017. And just privately, they raised a crap ton of money. like something like 23 million in a span of like 17 hours.
Wow.
So again, you got to know where to put your money at. Like you got to see how the shift is happening. I use Fanbase for connecting, because they have the rooms where people that look like us, you know what I mean? Like, let's just keep it real. The black community needs this more than anything. They need this information more than anything. Get on Fanbase and find out what's going on within there, because that's where a lot of us go to communicate at. And right now, it's one of the places where you could be able to sit down with a tech superstar, or you know, I don't want to, like, I don't know what other term to use it, like someone who really cares about what they're doing in their tech projects, and you can meet them there. Like they have audio rooms for it. You can actually get a conversation in and not be, you know, how do you say, segregated by some velvet rope. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of the dopest places that people can go that I know of, and it's just like on a regular. This is a location where if you ever been to Little Five Points, Atlanta, you'll be surprised. That place is a lot like the TV show Eureka. Now, well, I'm being honest, because even myself is there. But every few steps, you'll come across some app guru, some computer cipher knowledgeable professor, and I'm talking about literally like every other person. Like we have tech people like some of these places have independent rappers. Like even the homeless people down there are like super tech geniuses. Like I'm not even kidding. Like you'll be surprised. Any software or anything you're looking to learn how to do tech wise,
just go to Little Five Points.
Yeah, you'll find it.
What?
Like that. That is full of it.
That's new to me.
Yeah.
That's new. Like, I frequent Little Five Points, but when I go to Little Five Points, I never really think tech. But now that you say that, I know the people down there are in a different world, in a different mindset.
But you'll never think of the tech space.
Yeah.
Like it's wild like that.
That's interesting. So, you know, this is Fresh Friday, where we talk about all things fresh. And in this case, we're talking about tech, AI. And the question that I have is, what do people get most wrong about the tech industry and the AI industry?
That it's only for certain sectors and not for us and all.
Okay.
People that develop technology don't really develop it for one type of person. They, for the most part, they develop it for a little bit of everybody to know how to use, because that's their overall goal or agenda. They don't want just, I just want this group of people using it. No, a lot of times they want everybody to be able to have access to it. Now, propaganda and government may prevent that sometimes, but that's because of the complex that is inherent come with being in the space. Usually that's the format of thinking.
Got it. So what where do you see tech and AI going in the next 5, 10, 20 years? And what advice would you give young people now, that 13-year-old that's curious and really, you know, diving into this thing head first?
Well, remember, it's just as much as it is helpful, anything that is in too much of excessive force could be bad for you. You know, so you want to know the do's and don'ts. You know what I mean? If you're getting into it to perfect a scam or to do something that, you know, is not humanly right. Let's just get into the brass tacks of it. If you're getting in it to do something that's not humanly right, then, you know, it may not be for you. You know, that's gonna breed what we call supervillains in that case. But if you're in it for the right reasons, and you really are trying to make this place we live, called Earth, a better place, then, you know, you could be considered a tech hero. You know what I mean? Do something that's worth being not just recognized and notable, but something that actually helps people. I guess a lot of times people forget to put God in it, in what they do. Like, listen, I know that.
What do you mean by that? Unpack that.
You know, put God in it. When you put God in everything you do, it's no way to fail. A lot of times people believe scientists are atheists, and I could tell you that I am definitely not an atheist. You know what I mean? I know if I'm trying to develop something and it's not going right or it's not working out, sometimes I gotta pray about it. Superstition is one of the biggest parts of science if anybody ever known. So even if spirituality is superstition, spirituality is just human science. You know, science is not just held down to an antenna device like the equipment and things that is in this room, but even your genetic makeup is a science. Now, it's a God science, but it's a science nonetheless.
Yeah. Science just means there's order.
Yeah, so
there's a method to it.
Exactly. Yeah. And the way I utilize it, just to unpack it completely, you know, I don't have a problem asking myself the tough questions like, is this something that needs to be developed? You know.
And how do you go about determining, like, if it's something, if it's product market fit, you know, if it's...
You know, I developed over 3,000 and some odd different devices. Some of them made sense, some of them didn't. And the truth of the matter is, when we look at what it actually is for us to build and do what we do, it's no way that you can avoid, you know, margins of error. I'm not afraid to make mistakes. I don't care. You know, I don't develop and invent based off the bottom line of $1. You know, I don't mind asking God, is this something right for me? Or if it's not, you know, steer me in a proper direction. You know, a lot of people are afraid to put who they are actually in it. And you shouldn't be, because it's a part of who you are. And if this is a space of which you create, you know, you have to look at it. It's no difference than how in the music industry, you got people that rap about killing and all this other stuff, and then you also got gospel people. Now, it doesn't mean one person is better than the other. However, it does tell you that it's different spectrums of people who put, you know, not just themselves into it, but they reach for a higher power to add as well. Because sometimes your way of thinking ain't just going to get it. Look, I made a lot of mistakes at 260 Peachtree. That's where our laboratory. I done messed some things up in there, like dead ass, like seriously. However, I'm not afraid to be afraid to making a mistake. I kind of look forward to it.
Got it.
You know, the mistakes that I've made is what paved the way for innovation.
Yeah, so you failed forward. You wasn't afraid to make the mistake, and when you made the mistake, you learned from it.
Yes.
So, yeah, so that leads us to our next segment of the show. It's called Gems and Game. So giving people, you know, game and some gems that they can really hold on to, you know, when we kind of pull back the layers of who you are. What keeps you grounded?
Prayer, meditation, working out. I smoke a little reefer, you know.
He didn't say reefer. You telling your age with that one, bro.
I like the word, but no,
I love
honestly,
it.
I like the word, so I'd rather use that than what everybody else uses. Yeah, nah.
Yeah, that gas.
Yeah. Hey, listen, real
I'm
reefer
from
is
the west
gas.
side of Atlanta. You
Listen,
know, they got different terms.
Real reefer is gas. They just don't know that.
Exactly. What's the biggest lesson you've learned in your lane by doing this?
Do things that are noteworthy. That's how your name get brought up in rooms that you're not in.
Okay. So elaborate on that a little more.
You know, do things that are noteworthy.
Give us an example of something that you've done that's noteworthy. That.
Good example. The Digi Spikes, I do out of a passion. And it brings my name up in rooms that the Techlit has never been in. However, the Techlit has brought my name up in rooms that I have never even entered. You know, there's people that are fans of my work that I grew up watching. You know, and this is it's a reality that I never really paid attention to, because I don't want it to get into the ego facade of it. You know, not a person like me, that'd take me to a dark place, and I'd rather stay, you know, in the light.
No doubt, no doubt. So, saying that, what is your why? Like, why do you do this? Who do you do this for?
I do it because I can. I do it because it should be done. I do it so our people can have another industry outside of rapping, acting, jumping, running with the ball, or having to sweat. You know what I mean? Yeah, I take good care of myself. I go to the gym, but I don't really go to a gym. I work out outside, you know, under the sun. There's reasons for that. The why is the reason. It's in its name. I think us as a people, we don't have a entrepreneurship problem. We have a starting the right business problem. You know, I think there's enough, we have enough barbecue sauces. We have enough food. We have enough salons. We have enough salons and barbershops to be pretty for the rest of eons. But we need more engineers. We need more real creatives. And what I mean by creatives, I'm not talking about somebody to go and film a movie. I'm talking about somebody that could impact, that moves the needle forward of who we are as a species, period.
Got it. Now this next section, segment is called, this is our rapid fire, personality driven.
Okay.
So what song, film, product do you swear by?
Huh?
What film, what song, like what is this is like, how you said billions, like this is my shit.
Yeah.
I like this. So is there a song, is there a film, or is there a product that really gets you going, just amps you and gets you excited?
Oh man. Film, I would say there's like 3 that I like. Jerry Maguire. I would say Jerry Maguire. I would say song-wise, Billions and Mombasa by Two Cellos, or Pat Metheny. Sometimes it depends. Well, Jadakiss too. It depends what I'm listening to in a
it depends on your mood.
Yeah, it definitely depends on the mood. Product that I swear by. Oh man, Black Soap.
I love Black Soap too. Black Soap and shea butter.
Yeah, Black Soap and shea butter. Those are products that I swear. I think we have enough of them.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship wise, I think there's enough. They can find something else. I'll say that.
You're right. Is there any dream collabos, like people that you would love to work with?
Oh man, I would like to work with Terrence Howard on a few things.
Tech stuff?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
The man, he has I think the fact that he's an actor overshadows the fact that he's an engineer.
A genius, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really like using the G word, because what is a genius? You know, when people use the word on me, it makes me cringe. I'm just Danaka at the end of the day, like to myself, and especially to those that love me.
So can I answer that, what I think a genius is?
Yes.
A genius is someone who's tapped into their purpose and their innermost being of who they are.
Okay, then I would say that's more like a DNA strand versus a specific talent, because anybody can do that.
anybody can tap in. I know.
Yeah, it's whether they want to or not.
Exactly.
That's the difference. Like I said, knowledge ain't the problem. Applied knowledge is the problem. A lot of people, they know what they supposed to do. They just afraid to do it. You know, like you ever see people that they go to the gym, they have a big stomach, yet they start working on their legs. Like, what are you doing? You're no, do the crunches. If you just focus on doing what you hate doing, a lot of times what you want to do comes out of that. You know, but they be like, just do the passion part about it. If it's a passion, it's not going to feel like work.
Yeah, exactly. So what's your favorite way to reset? Like, you know, when you take a break from it all, how do you reset?
Oh man, I work out in a rock quarry. I meditate, I pray, and you know, smoke a little weed.
So you over at the West Side Rock Quarry, West Side Park?
I go to the rock quarry that's in Smyrna, Georgia.
I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, because it's not, nobody goes there. It's just, you know, Poppy don't speak no English. There's nobody else in there. It's just me and him. And honestly, I think under their insurance, I'm not supposed to be there. You know, but, you know, they let me work out there, you know. And then, I'm not a person that could go to a gym. I work out in solitude, like, you know, you gotta put me in a dark room.
Yeah, it's therapeutic for you.
With less than nothing, and let me get it in until I say I'm good.
Yeah.
You know.
That's how I am with running. You know, I run.
I do that too. And you know what else I do?
What's that?
Me and my love, we play pickleball.
Okay.
Yeah, we go to the pickleball.
You know, they got a big pickleball indoor facility that's being open, one of the largest in the country.
We've been talking about it.
Yeah, you know, I know y'all excited about that.
Well, we one of those people that got our own equipment. So
okay.
we one of them.
Y'all official pickleballers.
Well, I ain't gonna go that far, but we are getting better with every day.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Because we practice our serve and all that. So yeah. It's high impact.
Dope, yeah. So what's next, man? What do you have coming in the next year, 5 years, 10 years?
Oh, well, I could tell you what's next for the next probably at least 80 years. So I developed over 3,000 some odd different applications. We're releasing 5 each year. So this year we released the Techlit, the N-Mint, the Digi Spike, the Plant Pod, and the EP Lemon Drops.
Tell us about the EP Lemon Drops, because we have an example of one on the table.
I don't know, can the camera see it?
I can get footage of it, but yeah.
So the difference about the EP Lemon Drop is, can I?
Yeah, you can.
Because I'm mic'd up. Yeah, all right, cool. So the difference about the EP Lemon Drop and what makes it like rapidly good for, you know, as many of the different people that love them and use them. The idea behind it is to generate awareness even when you're not there. Take the idea of what public advertisement was and change it around for something crazier and better. So this piece right here is done off the trainer Ken from Union Fit Hub, which is one of the most exclusive gyms on the Beltline, and they have like micro gyms throughout the city. But inside the gym, the trainer does not necessarily have to be there to communicate with a potential client. The client can become a member by just, let's go here, tapping on the wolf, and it takes them right to their membership plan and things of that nature. Now, it's no different from when they tap the Instagram. What that does is it boosts the following for the trainer. You follow what I'm saying? So the trainer now have more followers in regards to that, so they can make some money off their content, but they also sign up more people for the gym at the same time. And this is wild, because these are now making its way across like the whole spectrum of Georgia, and hopefully the rest of America by the end of this year.
Yeah, because now how much does something like this cost? Is it a package deal? Do you charge individually? Like, how do you price something like this? Because I think it's dope, and I think in the near future,
The EP lemon drops go for about like $5.75, and that gets a person maybe like 2 of them. However, it's a different cost when we're taking out a whole building. So Union Fit Hub, we did everything from taking out the employees to the establishment itself.
When you say take them out, what do you mean?
So the employees, what we released this past Tuesday, which was the 27th, we released the B742, which is interactive clothing now, right? So with them, their workout gear, some of it will be interactive and things like that. A lot of the trainers have the techlet, but inside the gym, they have each wall interacts with you. So each wall is almost like an EP lemon drop.
Wow.
For all of the trainers that are at that particular gym. And there's even one for the founder of the gym himself.
Wow. So when you're in the gym, you literally scanning and tapping.
Yeah, and we're moving to their equipment, so their equipment is also interactive now. So the person that's working out on it can upload their progress, things of that nature.
Wow. Yeah, that's dope, man. I love it, man. How can people get in touch with you, man? There's website, social media?
Oh, man, yes. Push2.0group.com. You could drop us a line, send us some info. They could also hit us up on Instagram at Push2.0group. Yeah, we're all over the place.
Yeah, no doubt. Anything else you want to add that I didn't ask?
Nah, this is probably one of the best interviews I think I've done. You know, I didn't get too many from my team members that's sitting in the background.
Okay.
Yeah, so I honestly...
so you behave yourself.
Well, honestly, I've been having media coaching. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Dope.
So I'm not afraid to get in front of the right process for it to make sense for me. And yeah, it helps.
No doubt.
If y'all doing some things, get yourself a media coach. It's not bad to have.
No doubt. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
This has been Fresh Fridays. I'm your host, Rick Mathis.
Big shout out to Rolling
Signing out, man. Big shout out to Rolling Out.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
No doubt, man. No doubt, man. Thank you for being here. You know, we're gonna sound off with your record.
Yeah, gotta
man.
have my theme song.
Your theme music. That's the theme music, baby. Get to the money. The billions.
That was fun.